ultra talented, I need to, I need to muster up any advantage.
Every inch I can.
My first 3 fights, I had a gnarly mohawk. That was for a reason.
All right, here we go. And now you see,
now he touched him.
So you see Schroeder in that southpaw stance. I don't know that Christian fought a southpaws last fight, but he's letting his hands go.
I like it for a wrestler to come out and throw that 2 right off the bat. Now Christian, he's a little flat-footed. I like to see him on the balls with his feet a little more. But I'm excited to see where this fight goes.
And one thing to think about for Christian is, it's stressed a lot in training, is that staying outside the lead leg of a southpaw. He should be circling to his left.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. He gets a takedown there.
There's the wrestling right away. And here come the heavy hits.
Side control.
And he's going to take the back there if Christopher's not careful. He's got one hook in. Reaching back is not a good choice there if you're Schroeder.
I'll tell you what, the kid can't drive, but he's got hella level changes.
It's a hell of a story Monday morning at the middle school cafeteria.
So anyway, there I was in this truck. Get my truck in the middle, Johnny. I choked this dude out last night.
And now let's see if he can land a couple strikes from here. His last fight was a TKO win. He's over in the mount now, and there's some shots from Christopher Schroeder. A guillotine, but let's see if Christian can get that takedown past the legs. He needs to do something from here, not just...
Nice inside trip.
But now he's caught in the guard. That is tough, but the one thing that may save Christian here is that cage is in the way there. Schroeder won't be able to lean back and arch the way he needs to.
Now I gotta ask you, what's the importance of keeping it moving? Like we just saw, kind of froze right there in the stance. Like what's the importance of? Is that something you learn with experience? Right?
Absolutely, you're giving your opponent time to adjust. And now I know these guys wouldn't do that in the gym. It's different in competition. When you stop to think, you might fall behind there. You might find yourself in a big trap. But he's past the legs now, and he's out of danger if he can hug that neck and stay tight.
Oh, we gotta pull him out.
And this is where Christian finished his last fight here. And he's got both hooks in on the back. This could be very bad for Schroeder.
Now is he too high? Is he too high up on the back?
If Schroeder pops up on his feet, he can throw him off the top. But right now, Christian's riding pretty good.
Oh, he's gonna flatten him out.
Yeah, if he arches his back there,
he's gonna flatten him out.
He's got that choke, but it's on the chin. He looks like he's gonna survive here.
Now, when do you bail out and start throwing the hands?
Right? About 5 seconds ago he should have, and he did. But I would throw some serious shots there and make the ref think about stopping it.
Oh, you gotta stop it, right?
Now keep in mind, at an amateur level, a flooring on top, it's all about protecting these guys when they're new.
Absolutely.
And a
Especially
flooring on
first
top
fight.
can stop a fight in a real hurry.
Absolutely.
Especially, here we go. Posture's up and reins him, you watch, he might step in and stop.
Now you have to keep moving, right? If you're in this position, the ref's looking for make sure you're intelligently defending yourself.
Absolutely.
From the bottom end, absolutely.
Bottom mount is not a place to hang out in mixed martial arts. And you can kind of see that greenness of Christopher Schroeder. He's very good at movement, but as soon as Christian Coppola got on top, he's kind of trapped now. He's a little bit like a fish out of water.
Okay,
but
10 seconds left.
But what I like about Coppola's doing is he's not rushing anything.
Absolutely.
That was a nice hammer fist right there.
He's doing damage that's gonna help him in the later rounds.
I liked it, man. The kid can't drive an automobile, but he looks like a hell of a fighter so far.
Now here we go, going into round 2. This is where you figure out, did you dump your adrenaline? Are you gonna start feeling fresh about 30 seconds on the stool? Or are you like, man, this is real. I just got punched in the face on my back in front of 1,000 people. How's he gonna come out from this?
That's always the question there. And Christian has one more fight than Christopher, who has none. But he was in the cage about a minute. I had that same issue as an amateur. You don't get a lot of experience. Christopher Schroeder's never been in there, but what's the difference between never being in there and 1 minute? Not too much. So it's going to be who stayed more composed coming out in that second round.
Pretty much the walk to the cage and feeling the vibes. But other than that, cage time, they're a minute apart.
And even at the highest levels, when you see guys get that dominant position, sometimes they get excited. They think the fight's over, and it's not. And when they're not, you might dump that adrenaline. You get your hopes up, you disappointed, you come back out, and you're exhausted. So it's interesting to see, but Christian looks good here. He looks fresh. Schroeder looks good. They look seasoned.
Now, Flow Combaters, let me tell you, we got if the second round is anything like the first round, we got live action. We got live action.
Absolutely. And those grappling matches set the tone, but this is picking up right where they left off.
You know what? And this is what I like about Warfare. Every time we've seen a Warfare show, it always delivers.
All right, now this is something I'm interested to see here. As we touched on before, Christian wants to be circling to his left, keeping his foot outside that lead foot. It looks like Coach Kennington made that adjustment for him, because at the beginning of the first round, he was circling right into that power left, and that could have gotten really dangerous.
Especially as soon as you see them between your front foot, that's your chance to fire that straight left hand as a southpaw.
Absolutely.
And he's firing it right down the middle.
Now keep in mind, as a orthodox fighter, when your foot's outside his, your two's ready to come down the middle as well. As Christian just threw it there a little bit.
And as the wrestler fighting a southpaw, that easy single's right there because that lead leg's right staring you in the face. So it'd be interesting to see if Christian's going to shoot that double again or just change levels and snatch that single up.
Well, it's interesting to see Schroeder switching to orthodox there momentarily.
A good right hand from Coppola. He's letting it go.
Oh,
A nice body kick. These guys are staying very composed. They're not just running at each other. This shows a high level of amateur talent.
All right, now let me ask you two, gentlemen, fans watching at home that watch Fights 4, how much wind does those body kicks take out of you?
Perfectly placed, they'll drain you. Absolutely.
Now, also, we've seen fights end in leg kicks, right? How the importance of leg kicks, like Jose Aldo, right? Edson Barbosa, those guys throw thunder with leg kicks, but they can be effective distance cutters, correct?
Absolutely. When you give that guy
very.
a threat, especially a wrestler, you take that lead leg, start making them think about it. They lose that power on their shot sometimes. I'm sure Brandon can speak for that. I felt it in the past. But Christian did a good job getting in on that single, switch to a double, put him down, no problem.
Yeah, and as a wrestler, you're working level changes, moving, trying to get those hands up, get that takedown.
Now,
That lead leg comes into play.
would you advise, Joe, from this position, can Shooter move into pineapple from here?
I don't think he can here. I think more so he should go back to half guard. That pineapple guard's going to be tough from there. But if he can scoot out here, protect his face, start working back to some kind of guard, any kind of guard here, he can kind of prolong this and get back to recovery.
All right, now how important is okay, there we go. I say, how important is it to get a leg at half, at least half?
Absolutely. But you see, Schroeder's able to turn on top here. Christian does not want to be on his back as that wrestler.
That's good
But he did a
hits.
good job getting back up.
Very.
But here's those wrestling instincts. Tired, flurries, whatever comes up, you're always one takedown away from being back to your comfort zone. He did a good job getting on the legs there. He can rest here.
Man, and I love it. They call it chain wrestling, scrambling, whatever you want to call it. I love that side of MMA. That's action right there.
Now, if you look at Schroeder, mouthpiece half out, you can tell, Coppola, you're coming from a wrestling background, all right? You're used to that grind. You go against a striker, you're not used to a guy grinding up against you. the whole
So,
time.
what is that? Let the fans watching a Flow Combat know when that mouthpiece is open, when that mouth is open, that's exhaustion, yeah?
Absolutely. I think wrestling is the most tiring aspect of martial arts, mixed martial arts. If you can wrestle 3 2-minute periods, you can fight 3 threes. Even though the punches cause that adrenaline to spike.
They say wrestling is the most exhaustive thing a human can do besides soccer.
I agree.
Or talking to Brandon Bouchard.
That's true. You know, I am a bona fide U6 soccer coach now, Mr. Finley.
I did. You know, it's funny. So, Flow Combaters, listen to this. I'm on the way to Bushaw's daughter Aria's soccer game this morning. He's preaching to her. You gotta stay on your feet. You gotta stay on your feet. And no doubt this dude dumps it. Coach Bushaw hits the dirt about, what was it, third period?
Yeah, you know, it was pretty early. I had to wear that embarrassment for the remaining 3.
At least the mom gave you a juice box.
She did give me a juice box. Pineapple juice.
Gluten-free. There we go. All right, now, Hayes, we're heading into round 3. How you guys scoring this?
I think so far, based on takedowns and damage, positioning, Christian Coppola is up 2 on my scorecard. My scorecard's not worth anything, but I think we all are on the same page here that, you know, he's able to control where the fight has been, which is a very big factor.
Now, this is a fight Christian's going to look back on, like we touched on earlier. What got you there? Wrestling is controlling the fight for Christian. This is something as he works on his hands catching up to his wrestling, he's got to realize he has that single leg grind
Absolutely.
dump. Make sure you stick with what got you there.
And he set them up with striking, so he didn't just go in and stick to one thing, but he didn't forget what got him to the dance. And that's what I like.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people think a single leg is a simple situation, like fundamental wrestling, but it is very effective. Wizard, all the underhooks, it's all important.
We have a Superman punch from Christopher Schroeder. The thing I'm wondering, if his corner kept him informed, he probably thinks he's 2 rounds down. But if he opens up with the stand-up, now you get that easy takedown.
Well, you
So
see
what
that-
do you do here if you're him?
You saw Coppola throw that combination. He's leaning forward. He's tired.
Absolutely. Now, the one thing about a wrestler, like we said last round, you do have that takedown in you. But it's a matter of Schroeder not overcommitting here. He's got to stay poised.
Oh,
Nice right hand by Christian. Now, I'd like to see more of that. Again, now we see Schroeder in an orthodox stance. Keep in mind, the first 2 rounds, southpaw stance. I wonder if those leg kicks are bothering him as he switches his stance there, or if that's a karate background of training with Meshack Adams in that camp.
But you got to figure he's down 2-0, right?
Absolutely, you
Like,
got to mix it up.
It's time to come out and do it. Like you have to finish to win.
I think he knows he needs that finish here. And the ground is just not coming from there. Unless he's able to snatch up a neck here, but Christian's doing a good job taking him down, keeping pressure, and now passing the proper way to mount.
That was great timing. That big overhand right came, changed levels right to a body
But
lock.
see, that you got to figure that's good coaching, though, right? Because you know he's coming out desperate. He's going to throw that one heavy shot. When you see it, you read it, you duck, you get it down.
This is when you know you're up 2 rounds to none. He's going to get desperate. Time it. Keep your hands up, wait for it, shoot under, get on top.
And now we see Schroeder here trapped at the bottom. The only thing I don't like is he's trying to hold Christian on top of him. And as much as you don't want distance to get to, eat those shots, you need distance to get away. You need to get on your side, start getting your legs back in. Holding him on top of you is doing what you don't want. You're keeping yourself there. So now he's kind of stuck here, not moving his body, just holding Christian, delaying the inevitable, which is those big shots.
Now the fans watching Overflow Combat, this is a bad situation, but it's not an end-all be-all situation, right?
No, not at all. You can absolutely survive here, but the only issue with that is he's down 2 rounds. So now you got to think the third is going in Christian's favor.
But you got to buck up, right? You got to move. You got to throw it out there.
Absolutely. At this point, you have to go for broke because you know you're losing this fight. And as much as opening up can make you look foolish, it can also be the difference between coming back. And right now, he's not giving himself a chance to come back by just holding on there.
And keep in mind, with Christopher Schroeder, we're talking about a kid that's been in a legit camp only 2 months.
Absolutely.
So there's a big high ceiling for this kid, and he stays under Meshack Adams at Prime MMA. You can tell he has it. Needs to polish it, work on it, and I think this kid's got a good career ahead of him.
And I think we can sign off on the fact that he definitely took to MMA. He did not look like a first day, 2-month fighter. He looks like he's been at this a while. So both these guys look really experienced for their experience.
Yeah, and I think Coppola's going to take this.
A little flurry, yeah, to end the round. I think the judges are going to, that seals the deal.
All right. I'm impressed with Christian. That it's good, that wrestling. That wrestling dictated and controlled that entire fight.
And I think wrestling your whole life makes you a gamer, No matter whether you're fighting, doing jiu-jitsu, checkers, chess, you're going to step up to the plate and compete because that's what it teaches.
Yeah, you don't get that.
All right, we have the Oz nightclub decision coming up. All right, and we're unanimous on Coppola, right?
Yeah, it has to go 30-27. Impressed, good fight. Way to kick off the card tonight, I believe.
Yeah, those guys did not look like a one-fight fighter and a debuter. They look seasoned. A lot of times amateur MMA, especially those nerves, guys come out, they throw a 1-2, and they grab each other like it's 1993, that kick to the knee. This was not that. This was every aspect of MMA.
Right, up to
All
Bruce.
three judges scored this bout 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, Christian Mighty Mouse Coppola.
Looks like the other guy.
All right, Christian, right over here. Hell of a performance, young man. Hell of a performance.
We had the same game plan we always came out with. Ended up executing it again, took another win.
Now your wrestling absolutely made a difference tonight. How much was your timing a factor? Every time he looked like he sat down on a big shot, it's looking like when you drop levels perfectly. Talk about your wrestling background and your timing aspect of this fight.
I mean, I've wrestled ever since I was 4, all through high school, college, and with the execution, we practiced that in the back. Once he threw a big shot, duck under, take a double, single, take him down with it.
Now, you don't even look old enough to drive, young man, but you're a hell of a fighter. Tell Mr. Hall who you want next in this warfare cage.
Give me anybody, I'm gonna take him out real quick.
Put your hands together, Mr. Christian Coppola.
And there you have it,
Mr.
your
Bruce.
winner, Christian Coppola, 2-0 now. Young kid, that's promising. And like he said, wrestling since he's 4, that the ground, and to the body, to my understanding, closed fist strike. So with the grappling.
Oh, they're not throwing. They're looking.
And now, when Brandon and I went in the back room, we saw Arriego warming up, shadow boxing with